Where are you? Uh-huh. Hey. Hey guys, what's up? Today, as I promised, we will create a simple Secret Santa application. We will build it using React, and of course all the output, the results, will be shown directly on the web page. We will not implement a mailer or something like that. It will only be the front part of the code and the assignment of the people. So let's go ahead and do it. So let's navigate to the directory where all the coding projects are. For me it is code, and create a simple React application. Create React app. Oops, I forgot the name. Codemas Secret Santa. It will take a while to install, so you know the drill. I will see you in Visual Studio Code. So here we are. Let's start deleting files we will not need. I will not need this. This can also go. This can also go. Oops, not this one. This one. Bye bye. Let's remove them also from the imports. And this can also go. Bye bye. And those two here. Now let's remove the content from the app.js and open the terminal to start the app. So npm start. So let's first add the title, your own personal Secret Santa. Let's go to Chrome, see it working, perfect. Let's create a directory, name it components, and create two new components in there. The first one will be the form, and the other one will be the result. Let's make them React components. I'm the result. And come on, I'm the form. Oops, of course it's not working because we did not import them. So form, not this one, form, input, nice, result, and it's working. So since the result will be shown in a different component than the form, we want to manage everything into the state of app component. So let's go and create some state here. Const names, or maybe persons. Set persons equals to use state. Oops, use state, which will be an empty array. Let's pass both of those as props in the form. And go inside the form component. Let's use those two props in here and delete this text, we will not use it. So we basically want two things inside this component. The form, which will be a list of inputs that will write the names of the people, and also an add more button that when we click it, it will add one more input. We want to have a constraint here. We do not want to have less than 2 people because we cannot have only one. They will basically gift themselves, so it makes no sense. We need to have at least 2 people. So let's first show an input for every person. So persons map person, and it will return an input. Let's go to app.js, and inside the persons, let's first create the schema for the person. So const person schema equals to an object that will have a name, which will be an empty string. It will have a has gifted, which will be false for now, and has received, which will be false. I know that has gifted and has received are bad names, but let's use them for now. So basically has received is that the person is receiving a gift, and has gifted is that this person is giving a gift to someone else. So when the application opens, basically when the app.js component mounts, I want to initialize this state with 2 persons. And to do this, I will not add it in the initializer. I will use the use state, the use effect hook. Come on. Which will only run when the component mounts, and it will, if there are no persons, it will set persons, and it will return an array with prev. This is basically not needed, but anyway, and since we will create 2 people, I will add an array with 1 and 2, and then map it, and then ID, this is where this goes. It will return an object which will be the person schema and the ID. I think this will work. Actually, I'm pretty confident it will work. Let's go to Chrome and see that it is not working. So an expression, line 16, line 16. What were you expecting? If not persons, yeah, length, better, yes. But we only see 1 input here, so something did not work correctly. Let's console log persons here and see what happened. Refresh, array 2. Oh, it is an array. Oh, of course it will not work. We have to use destructuring here. Forgot about that. And refresh, and we see 2 inputs. So this is a nice error here, and it is the reason I wanted to add the IDs on the persons. In order to render a list in React, we have to pass a unique key for each item. So we will use this ID, which will increment by 1 for every person. We will use it to map the items. So let's go to the form, and in here, let's give a key prop, and the key will be person.id. Also, the value prop, come on, value prop will be the person name. And going back to the app.js, let's change the name to see actually that it's working. So I'm the name. Works just fine. Now we can delete this, and also this console log here. Whenever we change the value of the input, basically when we type something, we want to have a handler that will take this input and put it inside the appropriate person name property. Const on input change equals to a function we will pass the value along with the person ID as parameters. And let's pass it into the form in order to use it. Oops. So basically set persons, we don't need this here as I see. Let's remove it from here also and go back to the cleaner form.js file. So the input component has a non-change prop that takes a function on input change, will be this one, but we don't want to call it as is, we want to call it with the event passed here, and the first parameter will be target name, and I added target because I will destructure the event, and the second parameter will be the person ID. Cool. Let's console log and see that it's working actually. Console log and oops, value ID. Let's write my name. Left. Nope, it's not working. Of course it's not working. Target name does not exist. It is target value, and also I did not destructure it, so yeah. Let's try once again. Left arrays. It works properly. So let's go back to app.js and make it work. So what we want to do here is call setPersons, get the previous value. We'll use the callback function here, and now that we have the previous, we will create a new array based on it, or maybe not. Return prev reduce, come on, acc car empty array, return acc, and then if the current, oops, if the current ID is the same as the ID that was passed here, we want to return acc and a new object which will be current, and the name will be the value. Let's see if it works. Santa, and it's not working. Forgot this one here. Now it should work. Santa, close. Yep, it's working. And I see that we have a warning here, so let's fix it. React hook use effect has a missing dependency, person's length. Okay, let's add persons here. It's okay to pass persons and call the use effect every time, because we have a guard here, it will do nothing, even though I don't like that it will call it every time, but yeah. So let's go to the form and import a style. Let's first actually create the styles. So assets, new folder, and then new file named styles.css, and then let's make all inputs display block. Let's go back to the form and import the styles. And refresh. Nice. So the way I like playing with styles is to do it directly on the browser, because I find it very helpful. I don't like going back and forth from the coding editor and then back to the browser. I like doing it directly here. So we will give it some padding. 10 pixels, oops. 10 pixels and 15 pixels. Too much? Too much. Let's make it 5 and 10. Yeah, better. And give it some border radius. Let's make it 5 pixels. And then also let's make the border a little lighter. Nice. Actually, let's make it 1 pixel solid. Like this, much better. And give it some margin. Margin bottom, of course. And that looks better. Let's copy this first and go back to the CSS. And let's do it like this. And before that, add the reset, margin, come on, margin 0, and then padding 0. So let's give some spacing between the inputs and the title and also the results container. Let's go back here and add some HR here and here. Now go to the styles, and for the HR, give some margin, let's make it 15 pixel 0, and that looks good. Since I will not styling the app so much, I will actually delete the reset here to give some space here on the left side. And now let's go to the form and make the add more button work. So let's create a button, add more, and when we click it, it will call the on click, come on, handler, which will come here in a minute by going back to app.js and creating a new function. Which will set the persons it will return what we previously had and a new object with the schema, but the ID will be prev.length +1. Now let's copy and also paste this inside the form. Let's save and go back to Chrome. Add more, add more, add more, and all of... No, it's not working. Let's go to the console. Encountered 2 children with the same key, none. Interesting. What is none and why is it none? Prev length. Oh, length, of course. Let's see if... Yes, it's working. Of course I would have a typo. Now for every input, let's also create a delete button. So let's enclose everything inside a div. Come on. key will go into the div, and we will create, actually let's copy this and paste it here, delete me, and on delete handler. So on delete handler will be called with the parameter being the person ID. Let's go to app.js and create it. Const on delete handler equals the function that will take the ID, and then set persons, which will return the previous filter person.id not equal to ID. So let's refresh here and see what happens. I should, come on, add more, not be deleted, and let's delete not. Yeah, of course, it did not work. OnDelete handler is not a function. OnDelete handler is not a function because I did not pass it into the form, of course. Let's refresh and try again. I will delete, and let's see, it worked. But we see that we can delete all of them. And actually, since the use effect here is called every time the person changes, it will see that it has no length and it will reinitialize it. So I think we will leave it here for today because it's already too late. I've actually showed the whole walkthrough up to the end, but the video is already too long, and I think it's better to break it into 2 parts or maybe 3 because I have a lot of footage left. So I will see you tomorrow. I'm also getting very tired. I need to get some sleep. Also, if you like this video, even though incomplete, please like and subscribe, and make sure to comment down below whatever you want to see me doing those next days. Have fun and enjoy your day.